More and more people want to leave their job and work for themselves, but they have a lot of erroneous ideas about what that will be like. So today, let's go over those myths and set them straight. And none of these topics today are to dissuade you, but instead to help you make a good choice for yourself and your family with your eyes wide open.
Welcome to the Handmade Entrepreneur Life. I'm your host, Katherine Hampton. Together we are journeying through life as handmade entrepreneurs. I started my journey in 2013 and have successfully built a business that generates multiple six figures year after year. My goal is to share strategies and techniques that I have learned so that you can skip the stress and jump straight to success. Now let's get started.
In the age of the internet, it's easier than ever to start your own business. I mean, it's not like 30 years ago where you were limited to selling to people that were just within your geographical area. Nowadays, you can post your product on social media and reach people on all sides of the globe. I mean, I live in a super rural area and I've managed to sell to people in the United Kingdom, to Germany, Australia. I never even fathomed that my product would reach that many people all over the world. So the range and the earning potential of entrepreneurs has increased exponentially. And as more people look to leave their 9 to 5 jobs and work for themselves, there are quite a few misconceptions about what this new journey will entail. And today I hope to address a few of those top myths that I hear about entrepreneurship and help to set the record straight. Now, the first myth that I hear frequently is that it costs a lot of money to start a business. In all honesty, you can start a business with very little money. I've met several successful online entrepreneurs who don't even own a laptop. They run everything from their smartphones. So if you have a craft or an expertise that doesn't require a computer or a laptop, that might be something that is an option for you. One thing that you will need is a way to showcase your products online. Platforms like Etsy, they do charge a small commission to put your products on their website, but this allows you to get your products in front of their customers. That commission is well worth getting your products in front of millions of eyeballs. Remember where I talked about earlier that I've sold products worldwide? By putting your products on these platforms and paying those commissions, that gives you the access to those customers that are on the other side of the globe. You can also build your own website for relatively cheap through Squarespace, Shopify, or WordPress. Those are options if you would prefer not to go through Etsy or Amazon Handmade. Now, when I was ready to build my own website, I wasn't super confident on the tech part of it, but I also didn't want to pay a ton of money for a designer to do it. Given that I have super customized items, it was going to be really expensive. So I ended up purchasing a course called Architect that helped to make the process much less painful. It showed me how to do everything step by step. I set my screen up on one screen up on my laptop and then did everything else on my desktop, and click by click it helped me set it up. If you want more information about that, you can go to bit.ly/architect 2019. Again, that's bit.ly/architect 2019. And a little side note on Architect, I am an affiliate for this course, but I only recommend it because I am a super fan of the course. It saved me a ton of time and a ton of headaches. So I highly recommend it if you're looking into building your own website. Now, other than where to sell your products, you will likely have to make a small investment into purchasing products or materials to get your shop going. You can easily start a small online business for fewer than $100, though. There's really nothing, which is really nothing in the scheme of things. Of course, now, if you want to start a brick and mortar business, it's going to cost you more, but it doesn't have to be expensive. You may have to get creative and find used equipment, but it is possible to start a business without spending tons of money. I initially invested about $1,500 to start my handmade business, and all my other equipment purchases or upgrades were paid with money that was generated from my business. Now, almost 6 years later, I work with equipment that is worth more than my initial investment and never once had to take out a loan. So it is possible to build a business without spending a lot of money or going into a lot of debt. I hate seeing businesses that take out these huge loans and then aren't able to pay them back, that they just get bogged down with debt and are never able to really grow their business. So you just have to be okay with not paying yourself as much in the beginning and reinvesting it into your business in an effort to help it grow. Now, another myth that I hear is that introverts can't be successful, that introverts are doomed at being entrepreneurs. Now, surely by now you know that this one isn't true. I'm the introvert of all introverts, but you could also look at the founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, as an example. He may be one of the most famous introverts of all, and he also created one of the best communication tools for introverts. With the advent of social media, introverts can become very successful entrepreneurs too. As an introvert myself, I'm super thankful for social media and email because it means that I can conduct my business without really ever having to talk to anyone. But I will also say that as you become more confident in your business, communicating and interacting with your niche becomes much easier. So it's all just going to come down to practice and confidence, and that builds over time. Now, another one that I hear is starting a business is easy. And anybody who's been in business longer than 5 minutes knows that that is a big fat nope. It's not easy if you're doing it right. In fact, all those ads that you see on Facebook telling you how easy it is to start a business and live the life of luxury on the beach, sipping margaritas or Mai Tais, those annoy the living daylights out of me. By telling people it's easy, they're setting them up for failure from the beginning. The newbie entrepreneur sees this. They start their business, then they find out that running a business really is actually hard. They think that they are the ones doing something wrong because this other person told them that running a business was easy, and then they give up on their dream. And it's not fair to be so dishonest about the commitment that goes into starting and running a business because you're setting all of these other people up for failure. So, as an entrepreneur, you need to study the market, your competition, and your own skills and figure out how to go about it correctly. Starting a business is one of the most challenging things that I have ever done, but it's also been super rewarding as I've been able to conquer different challenges and grow my business. It requires an immense dedication and self-motivation, and easy is definitely not a word that I would ever use to describe it. The next myth that I hear is that good products or good services automatically means that you'll be successful. That is also not true. Even if you have great products and services, if you don't follow through and market so that you can get the word out, you will still not be successful. I've consulted with multiple sellers who make great products, but a lack of a marketing plan has kept them from reaching their target audience. There is no build it and they will come in the business world. You have to tell your customers that they need your product. They're bombarded by advertising constantly, all day long, driving down the road, looking at their phones, walking through the mall. You have to stop them in their tracks and say, hey, you need this. Promoted listings, posting on social media, bi-weekly newsletters, something. There must be a marketing plan in place so that consumers know what you sell and where to find you. Another myth that I hear is once I become an entrepreneur, once I become self-employed, my schedule is going to be all mine. Yeah, no, that's not happening. let go of that idea, at least in the beginning of your business startup. For the first couple of years I was building Dash of Flair, I worked 70 plus hours a week to get my shop up and going. Now, thankfully, things have leveled out and I work a much more realistic schedule. Now, that doesn't mean that I can just take off on a whim. My days are planned to a T. It's not like when I worked at the hospital and someone would fill in for me when I took a day off. If I'm not working, then orders don't go out. So instead, you have to realize that you can juggle things enough so that you don't miss something important, but in order to be available for something important, you may have to work extra the day before, the day after. You just have to plan and coordinate more to be available for things that are important to you. The next myth that I hear is, I need to do it all myself. If you go in with this idea, you're going to quickly get overwhelmed and burnt out, which is going to cause you to miss out on opportunities to innovate and create more value for your customers, which are the main jobs of any successful entrepreneur. And I know that I've talked about this before, and I'm sure I'll talk about it again, but big CEOs like Jeff Bezos don't do everything in their business. They find experts to take care of what needs to get done. They hire the best person for SEO, the best person for marketing. They make sure to have the best person in place for each position so that the company as a whole is performing optimally. In the handmade community, we have this mindset that we need to do it all. We wear it as a badge of honor that we do the SEO. We do everything for the marketing. We do all the editing. We do everything. But we need to let some of it go so that when it comes to directly interacting with customers for things like customer service emails, listing descriptions, designing new products, or social media posts, I do those tasks personally because I want to be in control of how my customers interact with my brand. But when it comes to tasks that don't directly interact with customers, like video editing or SEO research, I look for a virtual assistant so I can focus on the tasks that are a better use of my time. To me, paying a virtual assistant $15 for something that would take me several hours to complete, it just makes sense. So focus where you are talented, spend your time on tasks that you are an expert in, and then hire experts in their areas for the remaining tasks. Fiverr.com and Upwork.com are great resources if you're looking for a virtual assistant. Just be sure to look at their reviews, look at their examples of their work, and be particular in who you hire. Now, the last myth that I want to talk about is the myth that more is always better. Many times when someone starts a new Etsy shop, they make the mistake of trying to be everything to everybody. The best advice that I heard when I started my business was that if you try to sell to everyone, then you sell to no one. So remember that niching down is imperative, and this includes choosing a well-defined niche audience and distinct products and services that are expressly for those people in that niche. You are not Walmart. You are an expert designer like Tiffany & Co. or Mercedes-Benz. Expert designers focus on one product and then they build trust within that expertise. And this is especially true for handmade businesses. You don't want to look like a commodity shop. You want your customers to feel like they are buying from an expert artisan in your niche. If you happen to be a painter who also knits, that's great. Just be sure to separate the products into two different shops so you don't confuse your customers. Now, I hope today's discussion has helped you to let go of these common myths and focus on the things that are most important for every entrepreneur, which are recognizing opportunities, identifying innovation, and creating value for your audience. Thank you so much for listening today, and I look forward to chatting with you next time. Bye. Are you currently struggling to make sales? Do you have a passion for your handmade craft but lack a clear business strategy? Or maybe you are wanting to take your side hustle to the next level and make it your full-time job. If any of this sounds like you, I invite you to check out my 30-day action plan, where you will receive a personalized one-on-one analysis of your handmade shop with a 30-day action plan and 2 follow-up email check-ins. For more details, please visit bit.ly/myshop-plan. The website is bit.ly/myshop-plan.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.